Custom clearance in the UK. Businesses based in the EU that want to ship products to the UK should be aware that the UK is now regarded as a third country for VAT purposes. Regulations pertaining to customs clearance must be followed in addition to VAT implications. Contents: what is exactly customs clearance? When is customs clearance required? What is the customs clearance procedure? How long does it take to clear customs? Who can businesses entrust customs clearance to? What could prevent your goods from being cleared? Not having the proper documentation. Randomization. Testing. Communication breakdown. Congestion at airports and seaports. Is there a way to expedite customs clearance in the UK? What is exactly customs clearance? When goods are handled for customs or tax purposes, this is referred to as customs clearance. Brexit has significantly altered the way that Britain and the EU trade goods. Trade with Great Britain is more complicated and costly as a result of customs issues. For instance, when importing goods, duties and taxes must be paid. When is customs clearance required? Customs clearance is required for goods exported by a company from the EU to the United Kingdom. Companies must be aware that certain goods are subject to restrictions. What is the customs clearance procedure? The goods must first be declared for export. From €1,000, an export declaration is required. For amounts less than €999, a commercial invoice suffices. In Germany, the Atlas IT procedure is used for this. Customs makes a distinction between different codings used to declare final export, temporary export, and re-export. The export procedure imposes no VAT, excise duties, or customs duties. A customs clearance in the UK must include a description of the goods as well as the so-called customs tariff number. The goods can be identified using the customs tariff number. This is why it is also known as a commodity code or commodity code number. The tariff number is required for importation because the British customs authorities use it to determine whether the goods can be imported. Furthermore, any import duties that may be owed can be calculated. The customs value is the basis for assessing customs duties. How long does it take to clear customs? Customs clearance is actually faster than you might think. The UK customs clearance process usually takes minutes or hours, but it can take days or even weeks if something is incorrect or missing, or if your goods need to be inspected. When scheduling and preparing for the entire logistics process, we generally recommend allowing 2 to 3 days. From the time your goods arrive in the UK to the time they arrive at your warehouse. Customs clearance takes only a fraction of that time, if you do not meet the criteria for clearing goods. This can take several weeks. Unfortunately, there is no general answer to how long customs clearance takes. The process usually takes 1 day. However, the process can be slowed. Who can businesses entrust customs clearance to? Companies in the United Kingdom have several options for customs clearance representation. There are several options. Carriers, provider of parcel services, customs brokers or agents. The importer of record is the person in charge of the customs clearance in the UK. The representative then assumes customs clearance rights and obligations. Declarations of safety and security must also be made if necessary. More information on service providers who are qualified to act as indirect representatives for EU businesses can be found here. However, Businesses must be aware that there are costs associated with appointing representatives. What could prevent your goods from being cleared? Customs clearance in the UK. Delays are common and, unfortunately, costly, but they are easily avoidable. Customs clearance in the UK controls the border, so they have the final say on whether or not your goods enter the country. It is an unavoidable step in the importing process. If your goods do not clear customs, they cannot enter the UK. There are no other options. To ensure a smooth and streamlined process, be aware that the following will cause delays in customs clearance in the UK: not having the proper documentation. Many businesses either don't have the proper paperwork, don't finish it on time, or submit it with manual errors. With a cloud-based document management system, you can easily access critical documents and avoid searching through filing cabinets or emails for what you need. You will also ensure that your customs clearance entry is properly filed. Simply send us your documents, and we'll handle the rest. Randomization testing. Depending on the type of goods or equipment you are importing or exporting, customs clearance in the UK may conduct random testing to determine whether the goods meet the quality and compliance standards. This is frequently done at random, and while it can cause delays in the customs clearance process in the UK, there is nothing we can do about it. Lack of communication. It is sometimes a simple communication issue that slows the movement of your goods. The IZ Global Logistics platform allows you to communicate with your customs agent or broker in real time from wherever you are, resulting in increased efficiency. Congestion at airports and seaports. The logistics industry, like any other, is subject to seasonality. There are times of the year when demand for sea, air, and land freight skyrockets, with Christmas being one of the busiest. Because of the seasonal increase in demand, the only way out is to wait your turn. It is best to avoid peak times of the year to avoid any delays in the clearance of your goods. Is there a way to expedite customs clearance in the UK? IZ Global Logistics, as a customs software vendor, can file at all UK ports of entry. We use AI and machine learning to quickly access critical information, making importing and exporting goods easier and faster. Streamline your customs clearance in the UK by charging a single flat fee every time. With up-to-date data at your fingertips, you can save time on your audit trails with HMRC. From any smart device, you can track all of your shipments in real time. IZ Global Logistics AI-powered platform extracts the right information, saving costly and time-consuming mistakes. Real-time tracking warns you of any potential delays, allowing you to plan ahead of time. Data storage that is centralized and searchable from anywhere and at any time.